I'm ready when you're ready.
After 70 years in iron lung, Paul Alexander dies. Paul Alexander, commonly known as Polio Paul, contracted polio in the summer of 1952 at the age of 6, leaving him paralyzed from the neck down. Hospitalized in Texas, Alexander awoke in a metal cylinder where he would spend the rest of his life. Like most polio survivors, Alexander was placed in iron lungs and was not expected to survive long. But long after the polio vaccine was invented in the 1950s and the disease was completely eradicated in the Western world, Alexander continued to live in the cylinder. He graduated from high school. He went to Southern Methodist University. In 1984, he earned a law degree from the University of Texas at Austin. 2 years later, he was admitted to the bar and practiced law for decades. After surviving polio as a child, he lived in an iron lung for more than 70 years. During that time, Paul went to university, became a lawyer and a published author. His story spread far and wide and positively impacted people all over the world. Paul was an incredible role model who will continue to be remembered. What is an iron lung? Invented in 1928 by Americans Philip Drinker and Louis Shaw, the iron lung machine allows a person to breathe when muscle control is lost. The device became famous in the 1940s and 1950s when it was used to treat the widespread polio disease. The patient's head is placed inside an iron cylinder, and the air pressure inside the cylinder is periodically changed by pulling the head out at one end through a rubber collar. In this way, the device inflates and deflates the patient's lung. When the pressure is low, the chest expands and air is drawn into the lung through the patient's mouth. When the pressure is increased, the chest returns to its original position and air is pushed out. With the invention of more modern breathing apparatus in the following decades, the use of iron lungs almost completely disappeared. Alexander was one of the last two users of the device in the U.S.